without further ado, and I just wanted to remind everybody that we will be recording this meeting from now, so that if anybody is uncomfortable with that, if they can let us know or withdraw, but this will be for anybody who would like to catch up on the meeting another day. We can have the recording available. So without further ado, we will go on and look at the results of the of last year. And if there's anything you'd like to say throughout the meeting or anything, if you could raise your hand, and we will get back to it, or put a question in the chat box and we will get back to you. So we need to, according to the national requirements of the Public Participation Network, we do need to ratify the elections and the representatives that we have. So we have a big change in the makeup of the Secretariat this year, with 6 new people, including myself, being elected to the Secretariat. So we will get a few moments to meet everybody who is on the Secretariat now. Just about not everybody was able to make it for a number of reasons, but most of us will be here to introduce ourselves. We are then, as I said, Brendan will go on and give us an overview, and then we will have a quiz. So I would like to, these are the results of the elections this year. Does anybody have any questions or comments, or can we go ahead and ratify these new members of Sligo PPN? Okay, there's no questions. I will take that these new members are all ratified going forward. Perfect, thank you. So now we are going to meet the new members of the Secretariat. So let me see if I start with, I'm going to start with myself and just take a minute to say that the group that I am representing is Walking Matters. And it really looks at public space and how we can encourage people to walk and cycle more, and to create public space that is more inviting and welcoming to pedestrians generally, and to people of all ages and all abilities. So it's everything from seating to flowers, and where we put trees, and how accessible it is, and if we have play areas for children, and just to make our public space more inviting for all. So that I represent the Environmental College on the Secretariat. And if anyone has any questions about what my role is, I sit on the SPC3 with the council. So if you'd like to contact me at all, my details will be on our website, the PPN website, which is also undergoing some renewal. But don't hesitate to give us a call. So thank you for that. I'll let you now listen to Brendan giving an overview.
Thank you, Patricia. Hi, my name is Brendan Lynch, and I'm a representative for the Social Inclusion College on the LCDC, the Local Community Development Company, as well as the Secretariat. I was elected through Sligo Northside Community Partnership. One of the reasons I became involved is I see the world going through huge changes at the moment, and I believe that it's important as we navigate these changes and these new possibilities that are before us, that we do so making wise decisions. And for me, wisdom comes from the heart, and communities are at the heart of our society. The community groups and organizations like yourselves are the heart of our communities. And so it's important that this heart has a voice in the key decisions that are being made to determine our future, so that this generation and future generations can truly thrive. I'm very honored to be given the opportunity to represent your voice within the committees that I sit on. And I'm also very open to hearing any suggestions or ideas you have of how we can strengthen the voice and that heart within the community. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank all who have voted for me and wish everyone the best of success in the quiz. Thank you. And I shall pass on to Pippa Black. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I am the other social inclusion rep on the Secretariat. Thank you for ratifying me and the rest of us tonight. You can probably tell already that I'm not originally from around here. That's a Kiwi accent you're picking up. I've been living in Gurteen since 2008, but with 3 home-educated teens and pre-teens and an infant, I did have my hands full for a while there. I've been the social inclusion rep on SPC1, which is housing and corporate, since November 2019. Now, SPC1 also houses the Disability Consultative Committee, which is looking to make Sligo more inclusive and more accessible. So please get in touch with me through the PPN if you're having difficulties with housing or accessibility. During a training session with Social Justice Ireland, the PPN was described as anarchy in action. Now, anarchy is change coming from the bottom up rather than imposed from the top. This is where you, our plenary, come in. We need to keep hearing from you. We need you to spread the word and broaden the groups that we include. And we need you to think about stepping up for roles like this as positions need filling. The plenary is the most important part of the PPN. And I'll pass you over now to my colleague, Pat Benson, who can introduce himself.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, Pat.
Now we're alive. Then, hello, Pat, my name, and I'm a volunteer with Carrow District Regeneration Association, and I've been that way for the past 7 years. I'm currently its honorary secretary, and I was nominated to the PPN by CADRA, and I'm involved in the Community and Voluntary College. I'm representing that on the PPN. I'm also a member of the LCDC committee. Personally, I'm passionate about allowing older people to remain in the community and retain their independence rather than having to go into nursing homes. And I feel that should be a very important issue for everyone online here. And they should be using their influence to make sure that both the health service and the council are providing the necessary, and the, should I say, CIE, or Transport for Ireland, providing the necessary facilities to allow people to remain at home. I see an efficient, coordinated, regular public transport service as extremely important to allow people to remain independent, because if they have that service, they may not be able to drive, but they certainly can get to where all the other services are around Sligo. In Carrow, we provide the Seniors Alert Scheme, Text Alert, we provide defibrillators, and we look after the Tidy Town side of things. We have very lucky to have quite a good group of volunteers to help us at all times during the year. Personally, and it's indeed an objective of the Tidy Towns group, is to see our area as a place where people are happy to live and visit. As I said, I've been involved with the PPN for quite a while now, and we're all looking to get it to see new people coming on board and getting involved. So if you have any issues that you think that we can help with, or I can help with, don't hesitate to contact me. You'll find me, I'm easy enough to find, because I also submit the local notes for Carrow into both the Sligo Champion and the Weekender. So my telephone number is at the bottom or the top of the Carrow notes at any time you want to talk to me. Thank you. I hand over to Mark, sorry. Mark is next.
Hi everyone. My name is Mark Kopsak, originally from Manchester, and originally then moved to Killarney over 10-15 years ago. From there, my background, like I've done masters in leadership and management for the community and for the public sector. That's because I had a change in the circumstances in my job. And from there, then I've also a volunteer leader for Killarney Froga Club, which I've been a leader there for over 8 years. I'm also a director for the Sligo Traveller Support Group and the Killarney Development Company. I was nominated by Killarney Froga Group from the other leaders because of my leadership roles, and my interest in the community and ensuring people have their voice. So during my term as your new rep, which I've just been elected for the Ballymote Tubbercorry district, my hopes and intentions are to bring community groups together and work on many issues each might find, and to ensure each other have a voice. And again, thank you for everyone that voted for me. And like everyone else has said, my name is on the PPN there, or I've sent you emails before thanking you, everyone. I'm easy to contact. And thank you. And now I'll pass you on to Lisa Moore. Thank you.
Lisa, are you there? Okay, is Michael, we might move on to Michael. Is Michael Bell?
No, Michael's unable to attend, Patricia.
Okay.
He let us know yet, so we move on to the next. Yeah.
And Lisa isn't here.
I'm
okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. So that's who we are, and as we have noted throughout this, it is the important thing is that we are representing community groups, and so we really do value your support, and we value community action. And so as you'll see on the slide there, we do have a vacancy on the Secretariat for a community representative from Sligo and Drumcliff, and we do really encourage people to think about getting more involved in the PPN, and we will be having an election early next year for that vacant seat, and so we would really welcome new voices, and we would welcome people stepping forward for that position. So I think what we're going to do now is ask Brendan to give us an overview of what has been going on for the last year and look forward to next year.
Thank you very much, Patricia. Yes, so as Patricia said, we'd like to give you an overview what we've achieved into 2021 and some ideas that we're working on for 2022. So this here just shows our current PPN membership. As you can see, we currently have 498 member groups, and they're broken down into 3 municipal districts and 3 colleges: the community and voluntary, social inclusion, and the environmental college. Now, you may notice on this that we've only got 13 members in the environmental college. It's important to note, though, that the membership of the environmental college is a formal process that is overseen by the Irish Environmental Network. So membership of this college is only open to groups that are with a dedicated ecological and biodiversity focus. However, this means that there's many other groups around the county who are working towards improving our environment, and others that are implementing better environmental practices who may not fulfill this requirement. Sligo PPN have started working with the Sligo Environmental Network to find new ways of creating a space where all of these groups can come together who have an environmental interest. And this is very important that as although there is only 13 groups, there are many amazing groups doing fantastic work in restoring and improving our environment in Sligo. And so it's important that these groups are recognized and that funding can be available to these great projects. So that just gives you an overview of the membership. You can move on. Yeah. And I just see a message from Lisa. So Lisa, if you would like to do an introduction, maybe just at any stage, you can just send a message, and I'm happy to facilitate that maybe at some stage through the slides. So moving on, as I said, to the core areas, the work areas that we're focusing on. So you can see here that there are 7 key areas that we focus on. The supporting member groups, and that's mainly through as a response to the needs analysis. I'm going to go through all of these in a little bit more detail in the different slides. Number 2 is information and awareness. Number 3, supporting community representatives. on the various committees that we sit on, promoting member groups, local projects and events. We work at focus on health and well-being, and also we're doing some national networking. So all of these work towards supporting, developing and strengthening our communities here in Sligo. So in response to number one, which is the supporting members group, as I said, we particularly look at what comes up in the needs analysis. So in 2020, the needs analysis raised a number of priority issues for the group, and some of these you can see here. There were things like that the community activity has gone online, and this is presenting many challenges for our people and communities. We heard that Tidy Towns are looking for support and that people wanted to hear more about the funding that is available for them. And we also heard that people genuinely want to become more environmentally friendly, though maybe they just don't know where to start. So moving on from that, we had the responses to these needs analysis. And so in looking at these, number one, you can see these are in response to the feedback that came back. We developed a Sligo Social Media Academy. So firstly, Sligo PPN engaged the Public Sector Marketing Institute to deliver a social media training package for our members. This program included the development of a range of simple videos and guides, which takes people through step-by-step use of the standard social media platforms. All of this is available actually in one place on the PPN website. And the Academy program then saw 12 groups get the opportunity to receive direct mentoring in developing their own social media and communication plans. We also worked with Woodrow Sustainable Solutions to deliver a 6-week training program for Tidy Town groups, which took them through the application process for the national competition itself, as well exploring key aspects and opportunities that would allow the groups to enhance and expand their operations. In partnership with the Sligo Environmental Network, the PPN is currently delivering the Environmental Action Support Programme, excuse me, which ultimately aims to support all our member groups to take steps to become more environmentally focused. The programme involves group sessions, one-to-one mentoring, and will culminate in the development of a simple guide that will help any group, regardless of their nature, to adapt simple practices. As more and more grants and funders are looking for evidence of environmental consideration, this guide can help groups to simply and easily adapt the work they're already doing to be a little bit kinder to our planet. At present, Sligo PPN, on behalf of the community sector, are subscribed to the Funding Digest, which outlines all the available funding options for our groups. It's published and circulated every 2 months. And we're also committed to sharing any other funding opportunities we find to our members. We also welcome any feedback on how we can make this work better for you. And finally, and by no means least, Sligo PPN supports Sligo Volunteer Centre to deliver a suite of online governance sessions which deal with the key issues facing groups around regulations. So there are some fantastic things that we've been doing in response to that needs analysis. Moving on to the information and awareness. So when Sligo PPN becomes aware of specific issues, developments or consultation opportunities that may be of interest to the local community, we try to hold information sessions which will help raise awareness and point people in the right direction for getting involved. This year, there's been a number of such sessions. And these include the insurance, which is a major concern for the community sector. We've been at the forefront of challenging and lobbying on your behalf for change. We undertook a national piece of research, and this year supported the Alliance for Insurance Reform in making submissions to the Office of An Taoiseach, demonstrating the crippling impact that the rising premiums are having on the sector. In September, we hosted a session to support the Council to update community groups with regards to the progress of the Knock to Clooney road development. This session outlined the preferred option routes and discussed the potential impacts and ongoing assessment that was happening. And this session followed on from our initial introduction workshop, which was in December of last year. The PPN hosted an information session introducing the concept of social prescribing for health and the benefits to community groups of getting involved in this. In early November, the PPN hosted an information session to introduce the community to the data that emerged from our community wellbeing consultations and to explore with groups how they could use these findings to support their own planning and project developments. And in November, we are hosting an introduction session to their new river basin management plan and how communities can make submissions. This is taking place on the 29th of November at 7 p.m. And anybody who's interested, the details can be found on the PPN website, or you can send us an email. Moving on to the supports for our community representatives. So some of the supports that we have in place for our community representatives are the PPN Handbook, which is a national resource outlining the roles and responsibilities of all key stakeholders in public participation across Ireland. In 2021, a national structural review took place which explored all aspects of the PPN network and how they operate. The aim of the review was to adapt how the network operates and how they are supported and engaged with by the key stakeholders to better support community representatives to take part in and inform key policy development in every county. In January 22, we will be starting a tailored training program for all Sligo PPN representatives. This will be facilitated by Social Justice Ireland and informed by the representatives themselves so that the content is relevant. The Department of Rural and Community Development, the DRCD, have delivered a national training program for some of the PPN reps and a number of ourselves for PPN reps all over the country, and a number of the representatives from Sligo have been involved in that. And the PPNs have also made a number of submissions to schemes such as the SPCs, the Strategic Policy Committees, to raise awareness on how the committee's operation can be enhanced to better support the full participation of community representatives. And I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank all of our representatives who've put in huge work, dedication and commitment as volunteers. And I commend each of them for all they have done and that they are doing to create a better society for everyone. So throughout the year, the PPN have worked to promote and support the work of our member groups through a number of avenues. Our quarterly newsletter, which is sent to all our members. We're just about to publish our Environmental College promotional booklet, which outlines the work of our environmental members and why it's important. And we also use social media and emails to promote our member groups. Throughout the year, the PPN deliver our work in partnership on a range of local community projects and events. So 2 examples are highlighted here just to give you a flavour of what these are like. On the left, we can see the flyer for the Sligo Community for All. And the issue of unintentional racism and discrimination in the community emerged as part of our wellbeing research. The PPN working on this one with the Sligo Family Resource Centre to help raise awareness and address this. And this is just a number of various projects that we're working on. The first session will take place next week on November the 30th, focusing on the language that we use and how it impacts engagement with new communities. This project is funded by Healthy Ireland, and we would encourage you to check it out. On the right, you'll see a flyer for Warmer Homes for Sligo. Again, our research highlights that people were looking for ways to do their bit for climate change and also to be able to save money while doing it. We've been working with the IT Sligo Contract Research Unit to roll out information sessions to targeted estates in Sligo to avail of the Warmer Home scheme. Information sessions have taken place in local venues, which supports communities to attend. And health and well-being. Well, the health and well-being of communities is central to our work, and we hold a vision for healthy and vibrant communities in Sligo. Many people may be aware that the PPN have undertaken extensive research in developing this vision for community well-being. We are working to ensure that this data is put to as much use as possible to support local projects and programme development, as well as informing policy positions. To date, we've used the data to provide to the Sligo County Council in the development of the new LECP, the Local Economic and Community Plan, and Vision 2030, which you may have heard about. We have been using it to inform planning under the Sligo Play Paradigm programme. It's been presented to PPN members as part of an information session to introduce the data to people and to suggest how they can incorporate it into their own work and funding applications. And this pandemic has shown us that our health is our wealth. It is something to be celebrated and to be nourished. And to build on this vision of community wellbeing, we propose holding a Sligo Wellbeing Summit, if possible, next year. And as you can see, we're not only focused on Sligo, we are involved in work at a national level too. Sarah Weatherald, the Sligo PPN resource worker, was elected to represent the national PPN network on the National Advisory Group, which is hosted by the Department of Community and Rural Development. This group deals with the oversight of the PPN operations, and it is the first time the Northwest has been represented on one of these national structures, and ensures that the needs of the community sector in our area are reflected in these decisions. Sarah also has a role in the recently formed DRCD National Community Groups, which is charged with developing an overarching publicity campaign to raise the profile of PPNs across the country. We have already mentioned the PPN structure review, which has took place in 2021. And we have a national conference, which is held each year to share learnings across the network. The 2022 conference is due to be held in Wicklow, and Sarah, our resource worker, will be presenting with the Alliance for Insurance Reform on the current situation facing community groups. She will also be leading a session on the use of the national wellbeing data. And just excuse me, my little niece has come in to visit me. Next, a national secretariat network has been established with one secretariat member nominated from each PPN. The Department of Community and Rural Development have engaged a facilitator to work with the group and help them develop. And we're delighted with Sligo PPN that we have Pippa Black as our current representative from Sligo. This is an opportunity to influence national policy. And an example of this is a workshop has been set up to hear the views of the representatives on the national wellbeing work, which has been carried out by the Department of An Taoiseach. So within that program, within the program for government, there was an acknowledgement that we need to find new ways of measuring success as a nation. And having done a public consultation for the health and wellbeing, the PPNs are well positioned to offer insights and suggestions as we start to view success outside of the economic indicators. So we would like to wish Pippa every success in this role, and also take the opportunity to thank her for the amazing work that she is doing. There's also been meetings of the National Resource Worker every quarter to allow workers to share ideas, concerns and information. And in addition to the national meetings, the Northwest regional meetings are also held every 2 months, attended by the resource worker and secretariat representatives to allow discussions around participation and engagement in the Northwest. And on behalf of the secretariat and the representatives, I would like to thank Sarah Weatherald and Emer McGrath, our resource worker and support worker, for the fantastic work they are doing and the enthusiasm which they do it with. So thank you both. So next we're going to look at the programme budget for the year ahead for 2022. So when we take out the statutory salaries and the PRSI, the Sligo PPN have a working project budget for 2022 of around 74,000. 16,200 is allocated to general operations, such as the ongoing costs like plenary hosting, website costs, the phones for staff, etc. 10,500 of this is committed to projects that we carry out, that we were due to carry out in 2021, but we've had to carry forward because of COVID restrictions. And that leaves us with a budget of around 47,000, which the PPN Secretariat have devised a draft budget around. So the bulk of this 20,000 will go to the development of our annual calendar of projects and events. So there's some training programs devised in response to needs analysis, there's information seminars, there's workshops, and there's consultation events. We then have allocated 3,000 to each PPN college. This is for relevant college reps from the Secretariat and other committees to develop some specific initiatives that meet the needs of the colleges that they represent. We've done a similar thing then for the municipal districts, allocating 2,000 per municipal district for geographically specific events to take place. As always, funding is a major issue for groups, and so we would like to work with you on a program that best supports you in this area, and we'd welcome any ideas with regards to this that you may have. We have assigned 2,500 to work on how we can support our community groups within this. And finally, we would like to use our wellbeing consultation data to work with groups and organizations to develop some specific programs that directly respond to what people have said are the priorities for wellbeing in Sligo. And it's our intention, restrictions allowing, to have a physical event that brings people together for this purpose. So some of the plans for 22. Well, we know that for many groups, getting restarted in 2021 has been a challenge, and maybe even for those who are going to get restarted in 2022, it may also be a challenge. Some groups may never get back together, and for those who do, the way that we operate may change. So Sligo PPN have been working with the organisation One Step Closer on a campaign starting in early 2022 that will be working with a selection of groups to encourage new membership and help them to raise their profile. So this will allow them to promote the work across the community via various online platforms. It was the intention of the PPN to host a county awards program in 2020. This was postponed to 2021, and it has been postponed again this year, but we're hoping to host the event in the summer 2022. Never before has the community sector deserved so much congratulations and a celebration for the challenges that we've been through over the last few years. And so we hope to host an awards night that will give our members a chance to celebrate, a chance to look back on all that has been achieved in keeping the most vulnerable safe in Sligo, and also a chance to reconnect. While the awards themselves will be an added bonus, the process is really about bringing the network back together, allowing groups to reconnect and promoting group activities, and also having fun and celebrating community. So we hope this will go ahead and that you will be all able to join us. We'll continue with the rollout of interventions in response to the feedback to our needs analysis. Just by the way, it's not too late to fill this in. We'll be including a link in the next newsletter for anyone who's still interested. It is this that informs our responses to your needs. So we would encourage everybody to complete it if possible. The Sligo PPN have scheduled a seminar in participation with IT Sligo and Sustainable Energy Authority of Ireland to highlight options available to everyday people in terms of moving towards a more renewable energy focus, particularly in regards to private transport options. And this seminar has been scheduled from 2021. We're hoping to be able to stage it now in 2022. We'll also be doing our PPN community representative training. As stated, we're hoping to use the community wellbeing data to host the Sligo Wellbeing Summit, and we'll be making submissions to the county development plan. And the reconnecting with our members. So the Secretariat have decided to undertake quite an ambitious plan to try and reach out and make personal connection with each and every member group. And using our contact database, we will be reaching out to talk to each group, find out how the PPN can support them, what their key concerns are, and what they would like to see the PPN undertake or address on your behalf. So we'll be checking in, confirming that we have the right contact details for the group, the right information to ensure that the information that we send is reaching the right people. And we hope to learn from this process how that we can work more effectively on your behalf, and to make sure that our efforts are addressing the biggest issues facing you and the sector in general. So if you get a call from us, that's what we are trying to do. So maybe give some thought to what we can do in planning for that phone call. And as a member of Secretariat, I would also like to thank each of our members for your support, your engagement, and for the great work that you are all doing within your community. So thank you very much. Next, we have a list of events that give us a flavour of some of the training that we are planning to run. We'll be working with our colleagues in Sligo Leader and Sligo Volunteer Centre and the ETB to try and ensure that there's no duplication of initiatives. And also we're hoping to be able to be fluid enough to be able to respond to any new and emerging needs that may arise. So as you can see, that's just a flavour of them there. Much has been done and much is being planned for the future. And we hope that you will have seen something that your group may have been interested in, or something that will help and support you in the work that you are doing. So now I'll hand back to Patricia for the quiz, and again, wish everyone best of luck. Cora Magus.
Thanks, Brendan. That was a great overview of the huge amount of work that is being undertaken by the PPN. And it is really quite surprising, even to me, how much work is being done, despite the fact that we really only have 2 staff members, and it really does underscore how good they are. I know that, I hope you don't get tired of us saying this, Sarah and Emer, but you two are really great, and we so enjoy having you to support the work we do, and we hope that we are also supporting the work that you do. And again, I will say that the work on connecting with the members is something that's very close to my heart. And I'm going to be putting my, Jean is going to be, who unfortunately couldn't be here this evening, but she's going to be the one who's going to be calling you over the next a couple of weeks and months. And but in the meantime, if you have any questions, and because I know Emer and Sarah are so busy with stuff, that I'm going to put my name and my address, email address and phone number, and if you want to give me a call on any questions, because for anybody who's new to this, I know it can be overwhelming. There is so much stuff going on, so many different committee names, so many different levels of work that's happening around the community. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate. If you can call me on WhatsApp, because as you can see from the sunshine outside, I'm not actually in Sligo at the moment, but call me, email me anytime, any question, that would be absolutely no problem. I would welcome the opportunity to talk with you. Now, I am going to move on to the quiz, and this is a simple test to see how much you know about Sligo and a little bit about the PPN. So without further ado, because I presume I've not been asked to take care of the quiz, Sarah, are you going to take over from this one?
I'll take the questions. Yeah,
perfect. Okay, excellent.
Okay, we're just going to launch the quiz now. So if you don't see it, click on the poll and you'll see it, and then Sarah is going to talk through it. So you've got one choice for each question. There's 10 questions.
Okay, and thank you, Claire, also for your work. We haven't met, but excellent. It's all running very smoothly.
Did you jinx us, Patricia?
Okay, sorry, can I just check? Can you see that poll?
If you click on the poll at the bottom, it comes up.
Are you seeing it okay? You should be able to see the poll. Okay, sorry about this. Let me just double check. It should be a poll in front of you. Sorry, just give me 1 second and I'll double check it.
Claire, just while you're organising the poll, I might mention one other project that we have been supporting, and I think other groups might be aware of or might have heard of, but one of the great projects that is happening at the minute, and we're really just trying to step in and help with the delivery, is the Book of Sligo, which is the Creative Arts Initiative. And this is a book that features contributions for each of the 41 recognised civil parishes in Sligo. And it kind of portrays how the landscape of Sligo has shaped people and the places and the history and the culture over time. And the intention is that a copy of this amazing book will be delivered to every single household in the county And I know the PPN have put a call out for groups or individuals to get involved, and I know there's a lot being done by the organisers themselves. But I guess just to stress again tonight, if anyone was happy to put their hands up to maybe take on some of those deliveries in their local area, you can get in touch with Emer.
Thanks, Sarah. That's
to look out for.
Perfect. And I see the PPN questions have come up now. And just, can we go ahead and talk while the questions are being answered?
Yeah, well, I was just going to maybe read through them all just once, Patricia, and then once we've kind of read through the questions, there'll probably be a chance for us to kind of make a few, kind of keep talking while people do it. And so there's 10 questions. So the first question was, what was the year the Sligo Public Participation Network was established? And the options are 2015, 2014, or 2016. Then we ask, number 2, how many registered organisations are members of Sligo PPN? This was on one of Brendan's earlier slides. So the options are 439, 450, and 498. We then ask, how many members make up the PPN Secretariat in Sligo? And that's option 7, 8, or 9. We then ask, this is a timely one for 2020. Village in Sligo won the gold medal for the Tidy Towns competition in 2021. Was that Carney, Coolani, or Collooney? Where would you find Sligo Folk Park? Is that in Ballymote? Is it in Riverstown, or is it in Rockfield? Number 6, where in Sligo would you find the Suppose and Outcrop sculpture? Is it at Ross's Point Junction? Is it at the Collooney Roundabout? Or is it on Strandhill Promenade? And number 7, where in Sligo would you find the Salmon of Knowledge sculpture? Is that in City Hall? Is it at IT Sligo? Or is it in Sligo Library? And back to the PPN. Which of these colleges is not part of Sligo PPN? Is it the Economic College, the Social Inclusion College, or the Environment College? And that's not part of the PPN. Question 9 then, the Black Pig Festival is held each year. Which part of Sligo is it held in? Is it in Ross's Point, in Enniscrone, or in Grange? And then the final question, I've just talked about the project there, but what was the inspiration behind the Book of Sligo? Is it the anniversary of the birth of St. Comsil? Is it the 25th anniversary of the founding of the Blue Raincoat Theatre? Or is it the anniversary of the establishment of Sligo County Council? So there are your 10 questions. We might just give you just 2 minutes to read through and select. And Patricia, if you had anything you wanted to just say as people are just putting their brains to the test, we'll give about 2 minutes. You're on mute there, Patricia.
Thank you. I just wanted to draw your attention to something that Joan Swift put in the chat box on that Connecting Ireland survey for the National Transport Authority, because really, as we recognise and try to deal with the very, very changed circumstances in which we will be living with as climate change becomes ever more urgent, and as we make changes in our lives and in our society for how we deal with reducing the amount of carbon and other greenhouse gases that we emit as a society, public transport will be really central to reducing our emissions. And it's so important to get the national transportation link there and talk to them about how you feel about it, because as Pat Benson said, this is important for all of us at all ages of our lives. And speaking as somebody whose mother is 90 and lives in a rural area, and you know, she's been talking about the fact that their rural link bus, which used to pick up at people's houses, you could just stand there and they pick it up. They've stopped that now. And they only, when they go into Boyle, they only stop at the Garda station. So if you're an older person now, you have to go to a designated pickup point on walking on roads that are so busy that, you know, it's hard to even walk on them. And then when you're in Boyle, you have to walk up the hill to go and do your shopping. So this is the kind of thing that makes, for older people, certainly, it makes it just not a viable option. So I would recommend people really think about how you would use public transport and what are the things that you would ask of them to make it more practical, so that we stop just thinking about putting millions and millions into bigger roads and put millions and millions into more effective public transport. And the other thing is that Sligo County Council has been working for the past year on the Sligo 2030 vision for Sligo 2030. Now, it's only 8 years away, and they're in the final throes of that. And there are a number of us on the Secretariat who are members of the LCDC, which is a local Community Development Committee, and also on SPC3, the Strategic Policy Committee, which is feeding into and supporting the development of this document. The document has been worked on by KPMG, the consulting company, and the final meetings on this are going to be held next week, in which they're going to be looking at specific ways in which we can achieve the objectives that they've laid out. And so I would really encourage, if you have any questions on a vision for Sligo 2030, if you haven't had a chance to look at it, if you hadn't heard about it before and you'd like to talk to somebody, again, you have my details. I know Brendan is on the Sligo Leader, Pat is on, Sligo Leader, is on LCDC. I'm thinking who else is involved here, but really, if you have any thoughts at all, if you think, wow, that's something I'd like to see what's going on with that, let us know and we'll point you to where the document is, we'll talk you through it, and then any final thoughts you have that we can help feed into in these last of these workshops next week, we would be delighted to get your input. So can I stop talking there, Sarah? Is that enough? Is there more? Emer, have you got some results for me for the quiz?
Well, just to let people know what will happen, Patricia, now is, so the questions are all lodged, so Emer will be working very hard to look at all the results, and what we do is we announce all the results by social media early next week, and any winners will be receiving the vouchers from local businesses. I suppose Sligo PPN are very keen to support locals, so all the vouchers that we purchased are from local businesses, and there'll be an announcement to everyone who attended and tonight and on social media of the winners and how they can claim and how we get their vouchers out to them.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Excellent. Is there anything left that we have to say?
Nothing left to say, just some money to give away, Patricia.
Okay, I like that. And can I say, before we give money, is there anybody, would anybody like to unmute and introduce themselves? Or, because we have been very efficient in the use of our time and we are going to be finishing up on the hour. So if there's anybody who has something to say, something to contribute, if they'd like to say something about their community group that they have, Sarah's kind of looking at me going, are you kidding me? But 30 seconds, if there's anybody would like to say something, now's your chance. Okay, looks like I'm the only person. Myself and Brendan are the only.
I would just like to wish everybody a very happy Christmas. So and hopefully a better new year for all of us than the ones we've had over the last 2 years.
Much agreed, Patricia. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, well, if there's nothing
Patricia, I'd like just to say that I'm involved in next Tuesday's webinar, working with Sarah on that, on attempting, I suppose, to make Sligo community a more welcoming place. And we have two speakers now, Dr. Machetti and Dr. I just can't remember her name. She's joining her for that webinar. So we'd really like as many representatives from the PPN to attend. The details are on the PPN web Facebook page and the Sligo Family Resource Centre Facebook page. So yeah, everyone is welcome.
Thank you. And what time is that again, Liz?
10:30 in the morning or 7 o'clock in the evening. And it's just an hour, but I think it's really worth it. I've heard this woman speak before and I thought she was excellent. So I asked her to come to Sligo and talk to us about how we can be more welcoming towards new communities. And
perfect. So 2 sessions and they're both by Zoom.
Yeah.
And we can get the details on the, not on our website. Are they on our website? No, they're on your
Facebook page
and Family Resource Centre Facebook page. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, Liz, have you to register for that event? I'm just
apologies.
checking.
Yes, you do. You have to register for that event.
I am registered, but I just want to live.
I saw that, Pat. Thanks very much.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, without further ado, is there anything else, Sarah?
No, I think we've covered all. It was a lot to get through, and there's probably something we'll remember once we've all signed off. But I think we've done well to cram in what we have. So
we have, and can I just say, I know I mentioned at the beginning about this, you know, Zoom fatigue, and you know, I'm very aware. We're all very aware that you know, 2 years ago there was almost 250 people at the PPN AGM, and it was fantastic. Last year, even on Zoom, we had about 140 people,
yeah,
and we have a much reduced number. So I want to thank you for coming this evening, for giving up your time, for being involved, and you know, we appreciate it. Community is so important. Everything that any of us do to connect with each other, to connect with our communities, to connect with our local authorities and our councils, it makes us all, it makes Sligo a better place to live, and it makes it a more democratic place to live. And that's openness, transparency, coming together. All of these are so important for our community. So thank you all for coming, and hopefully we will see you all and all your neighbours next year in person at our next AGM.
Perfect.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Emer. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you
for your help.
Thank
and
you.
I'll see you all next year.
Well, we have the prize draw now, yeah.
Oh, the money.
The money.
Thank you. Onward.
So basically, I don't know if any of you attended last year. This is a basic, it's a spin the wheel. So the wheel will spin and select a random person, and Emer has the lovely job of letting us know which group has won the money. So it will be starting off with the bigger amount, which is the 500, and then working our way down to the 250s and then the 100s. Just, I suppose, a few rules just to make it fair, that if money can only be paid to one group. So if someone is pulled out from a certain group and then someone representing that same group comes up, if you can just let us know, because we won't be able to issue two checks to one group anyway. So we'll be able to we'll spin again and offer it to the next person. So as I said, we'll be starting at the bigger amount, which is the 500, and then working our way down. So we will let you know who the winning group is and the exact amount you've won for each spin. So if we do the first spin. The number 19.
Number 19 is Connie from Cranmore Community Cooperative Society. So well done, Connie.
Yay, thank you.
So that's €500 for the Cranmore Co-op.
Thanks very much.
And this is for, just if I say anything wrong, Emer will pull me up. So this is for the 250 now, the first of the 250 prizes, yeah.
Yeah. Number 20. So number 20 is Joe Doherty from Sligo Town Scout Group. So well done, Joe. So this is for another €250. Number 6 is Marguerite Egan from Ballymote Tidy Towns.
Thank you very much. That's great.
Well done, Margaret. So that's €250 for Ballymote Tidy Towns.
Brilliant.
This is for the final €250, and then we'll move on to the €100. $19 has already been selected, so we'll have to go again.
Take a KPMG are supervising this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So number 31 is Ciara Hegarty from Sligo Volunteer Centre. Well done, Ciara. So now we're moving on to the €100. So there's there's 5 of these. So go ahead. Number 28 is Adrian McCormack from Ballygawley Community Park. Well done, Adrian. Number 9 is Terence Weatherald from Ballymote Bowling Club. Well done, Terence. Number 25 is Sean Gallagher from Colfada Community Defibrillator Group. Well done, Sean.
Thank you very much. That's great.
Number 13 is Maria Cleary from Clondara Residents Association. Well done, Maria.
Grant, thanks a million, guy.
And then this is the final one. So there's one more €100 for grabs. So number 36 is, hold on, is Michael O'Dowd. And Michael, you might have to correct me. Is it Kilglass Community Council?
Sorry, it's a Conramull and Brina Community Enhancement, if you can hear me. Thanks.
That's all right. There was just confusion over the group. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Congrats to all the winners. So just to confirm, Emma will be in touch with you early next week to get you set up to make the payments. So you don't need to do anything. We'll be in touch with you early next week. And similarly as I said, for the quiz prizes, we'll be kind of looking at that and announcing all that on the Monday. Okay. So now I think it's your final
now
goodbye.
I can say goodbye. Okay, listen, thank you again for attending. And I will say goodbye again to you all and hope to see you next year in person. So thank you again for all your work, and I'll see you next year.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
everybody.
Bye bye. Thanks a million.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Cheers.
Good. How are you doing?
Thank you, everyone.